So y'all just get ready for the ridicule and the little jabs and the little snarky comments that you're gonna get when you start getting in shape. Now, I'm not just making this video for the sake of just being like, oh, you're gonna have some haters and they're gonna envy you, like, you know, like a dopamine type of hit video that you watch and you're like, yeah, people really don't like me, they're envious because I'm this and I'm that. No, this video is to let you guys know that you should not stop what you're doing, because people are gonna make comments and they're gonna say shit and you're gonna start thinking to yourself, maybe I am doing too much. Maybe I should just be like everybody else. Maybe I should just eat these donuts and eat these nachos and all that, and all this counting calories stuff and watching what I eat. That's stupid. That's dumb. And this gets to people at some point. A lot of people start thinking like this at some point in their life when they start hearing these comments from their friends or even their family members, right? Because unfortunately, a lot of people's family members are just as unsupportive as quote unquote enemies. Like, some of y'all's family members, from what I hear, are fucking terrible. To, you know, not to sound bad, but they are super unsupportive and they just do not support you in any type of way. And that shit kind of hurts. You know, it kind of sucks when you have a brother or a mom or whatever the case is, and they're telling you what you're doing is stupid or it's silly, right? So you need to stay on your course. And the thing about it is, you're gonna get so much ridicule in the beginnings. And so in the beginning, it's kind of like the testing stage. You're gonna get ridiculed, you're gonna get talked about, people are gonna say snarky comments. But the weird thing is that when they start seeing results, now all of a sudden they're like, oh, so what did you change? Or what are you doing to lose weight? Stuff like that. They're gonna start asking questions. And then the crazy thing is, I remember this. This is when it clicked for me. When the same people that were kind of criticizing me for trying to eat healthier, like when we go out, I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna skip the drink today. I'm gonna skip the loaded fries, or I'm gonna skip the loaded baked potato or the queso appetizer and the tortilla chips soaked in oil and all that. When I started doing that and they were talking crap in the beginning and looking at each other and laughing, stuff like that, those same people that were laughing and you know, making little snarky comments and joking with their with the other friend and stuff, now all of a sudden, might even be a couple years down the line, first of all, they look terrible, right? They done gained like 40 pounds of weight. You know, they used to look decent when you were hanging out. You know, the times that they were effing off and drinking beer after beer and eating chicken wing after chicken wing, dipping it in ranch and dipping it in blue cheese and all that stuff. They look terrible. They done accumulated like 40 pounds of excess fat, and they, you know, their chin is gone. And a lot of you guys talk about jawline this and jawline that. The number one killer of a jawline is, newsflash, it's not your genetics, it is your face fat. If you are skinny fat, you're gonna be skinny. First of all, I know we all know this abhorrent body type by now. You're gonna be skinny, but at the same time, you're gonna have a lot of pockets of fat. And a lot of that is gonna be in your face. So your chin is gonna be either A, non-existent because your fat is gonna cover up your chin, or you're gonna have two chins. You're gonna have a double chin, okay? So now their face is completely blown out, bloated. Their midsection is bloated. They look bad. They're having a whole bunch of trouble with females and relationships. They're always talking about, I'm having trouble with relationships, this and that. And let's just be honest. I'm not saying that your physical shape is always the cause of problems in relationships, but it's actually a major part of why a lot of guys have trouble with relationships. Okay? You know, this guy's having trouble with relationships, and because the chick sees his habits, he's always drunk. Now, all of a sudden, this same guy, you start seeing him start working out. Now, all of a sudden, you start seeing him posting shit online, talking about, yeah, I ran 2 miles and shit today. You know, he's doing a shit ton of cardio, but eating like crap. So he's not seeing any weight come off. But he's like, you know what? Maybe my friend that got lean is onto something, because they're gonna see you. They're gonna see you if you have them on social media, or if you see them on a day-to-day. They're gonna see you. They're gonna see you lose weight. They're gonna see you start looking better, start looking leaner, start looking sharper. They're gonna see the attention that you get from people and females, and they're gonna be like, dang, you know what? Maybe he has something going on. Maybe he figured something out, right? Maybe he knows a little something. So they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna get on this fitness wave. And of course, they don't know how to do it because they've been fucking off for so long. So they do it wrong. They go about it the wrong way. Like I said, they're still eating crap. They're still drinking a pint of beer, eating 10, 20 chicken wings dipped in ranch and shit, and running 2 miles and not seeing any results. So now they're getting discouraged after a day or after 2 days of not losing fat, and then they quit again, right? And these are going to be the people that are ridiculing you. These are going to be the same people. That's the same person that was making fun of you for skipping those nights out. That's making fun of you for not eating that bull crap that they were eating when you were with them. And these people, for real, if you really step back and look at it, they don't benefit you at all. Okay, they don't benefit you at all. They're actually making you go on a decline, and these are going to be the people that are ridiculing you. So you need to think to yourself, should I listen to these people that I'm not even going to see for real when I grow up? Because most of your friends that you're hanging out with in your 20s and all that, most of them are going to disappear. They're not going to be in your life 10, hell, even 5 years from now. They're not. They're going to be doing what they do, and you're going to be doing what you're doing. You're going to be flourishing. You're going to be blossoming. You're going to be getting in shape, choosing healthier habits, which translates to other things in your life. You're being consistent. And then here they are, still being negative, still hating on people. These are the same people that you were hanging out with that would just make fun of a person for just walking by. Just everything negative. Every time you get around them, they're going to be making fun of somebody. They're going to be talking crap, and they're going to be eating crap. So you need to ask yourself, do you really care what their opinion is when they ridicule you? And I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen, like, a lot of times I was like, man, you know, maybe they are right. Maybe I am doing too much. Maybe I should stop this. So it's powerful. You know, energy is powerful, and that's why you should not hang around these people, because they are going to be messing with what you're trying to do. You do not want to mess with somebody that's getting in your way. Why would you? Why would you want to voluntarily hang around somebody that is purposely trying to throw you off track, purposely trying to make you eat bull crap, purposely ridiculing you, making these snarky comments? And on top of that, when you stop hanging out with them, here's the crazy part. When you're finally done, when you finally tell yourself, I don't give a damn, I don't care what the hell they think, because they're really not beneficial to what I'm trying to do. When you finally do that and you finally stop hanging out with them, all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh shit, why is so-and-so not hanging out with us anymore? Oh, he thinks he's too good for us. And then all of a sudden they start hitting you up like, hey man, where you been? Long time. It's like, dang, every time I hung out with you, it seemed like you didn't even want me there. It seemed like you were bashing me the whole time. Because honestly, what kind of friend is that you're hanging out with that's bashing you all the time? That's bashing you for being healthy, that's making these little snarky comments. And on top of that, these same type of guys ridiculing you, making fun of you, are the ones that are going to be jealous as fuck. They're going to be jealous as hell the whole time you're hanging out with them, because it's just bound to happen, fellas. It is inevitable. When you start getting into shape, when you start getting lean, not only is your body going to improve, your mental is going to improve, your social skills hopefully improve. And if you're, look, the thing about social skills is people are going to start being more nice to you first, right? So it kind of opens up more chances for social development. Because a lot of guys, man, when you're out of shape, when you just don't feel good about yourself, when you're eating crap, when you're consuming crap, when you're thinking crap, people aren't going to want to be around you for a good reason. Why the hell would you want to be around someone negative? No. Would you want to be around out of shape negative person? No, hell no, of course you don't. But they're going to see that now all of a sudden, you know, while they're getting blue balls when they go out, now you're getting a little bit of attention. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you where you're going to start getting more attention. And when you hang out with these people, you're going to inadvertently outshine them. Not to sound like an a-hole, not to sound like an overzealous or arrogant a-hole, but it's just something that happens. I can't control the truth. You're going to start outshining them, right? You're going to be like, they're going to be standing next to you, and females aren't even going to notice them. They're not even going to be paying attention to them. All of them are going to be asking about who you are. They're like, oh, who's your friend? They're going to be talking to them. They're like, who's your friend? And then now your friends are like, dang, this, you know, in their head, of course they're not going to admit it out loud, but they're going to be like, dang, this dude is outshining me. He's getting all the attention, and I'm over here for the third time referring a chick to him, because the chicks are going to be like, who's your friend? And he's going to be like, damn, this is like the third time this shit has happened. So they're going to start feeling some way. But these are the people that are making jokes. And you try to tell them, the thing about it is, you might have been a kind person that tried to help them out. You're like, hey man, look, maybe you should drop this. Maybe you should eat less of this. Maybe you should start tracking your calories. And they're going to be looking at that like, that's stupid. You know, why are you measuring your food? He measuring his food? Oh hell no, he's doing too much. He's measuring his food. He's gay. You know, they're going to start saying stuff like that. They're going to throw out that G word, but the crazy thing about it is that females are going to be looking at you way more than them. You're going to be getting way more female attention. And that jealousy is going to get evident to the point where you almost have to detach yourself from them. I had to use the word outgrow, but it's true. You're going to outgrow them to the point where you're going to be forced to separate yourself, because your whole lifestyle is contrary to what they believe in. It's contrary to what they do. And believe it or not, as crazy and twisted as it sounds, your healthier habits now are going to start offending them. Just by you being healthy, just by you not engaging in all the BS that they do, they're going to start getting offended. They're going to start feeling some type of way. They're going to start getting, defensive when you do certain stuff, and you're not even doing anything directly to them. That's the crazy part. You're not even directly harming them. It's just, it holds a mirror up to their face. You know, when they're all eating that queso dip, when they're all chowing down on 1,300 grams of bullshit in one sitting, or maybe even 2,000, man. You know, they're eating queso, they're eating candy, ice cream, all of that. By you saying, I don't want to eat that, I'd rather eat something else. I'd rather eat this turkey burger, for example, with some veggies on the side, or some fruit on the side, some shit like that. They're going to start getting offended, like, what? Look at this guy. And they're going to start feeling some type of way. And the whole energy, when you hang around with these people, the whole energy is going to shift. The whole energy is going to turn into a very awkward, very hostile type of one. And lo and behold, when y'all split at some point and you start elevating, they start seeing those likes on your pictures. They start seeing females liking your shit. Lo and behold, now they want to hop on the health train. Now they want to be like, dang, let me get on this too. Health is wealth. They're going to start saying all of a sudden. And it's like, dang, bro, this whole time you were making fun and ridiculing me. And that's the thing that you always have to understand, is that ridicule always comes from the bottom. Okay? We've all heard this. We've all heard this before. Hate always comes from the bottom. If you didn't have nothing to hate on, if you didn't have anything for them to ridicule, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't. You only get ridiculed because they have something that you want. If you were average or below average, like they want you to, you would just be another schmuck like them. You would just be another Joe Schmo with a big old belly and 3 chins like them. But you're not. So, hope this video helped. Peace.